हेलो गाइस, वेलकम टू अनदर व्लॉग ऑफ सोलर पावर। मैं शायक हूँ, ये मेरा प्लांट है और इधर इलेक्ट्रिसिटी जनरेट हो रही है। आज मैं अपने वीडियो में आप लोगों को दिखाने वाला हूं कि कैसे आप आपकी खुद की रेजिडेंशियल यूज़ के लिए एक ऑफ ग्रिड सोलर प्लांट खुद डिज़ाइन कर सकते हैं बाय यूजिंग एन एक्सेल शीट। सारे लोड कैलकुलेशंस, आपका बैटरी बैंक कैलकुलेशंस, आपका वायर कैलकुलेशंस, कितना का आपको वायर चाहिए, कितना उसका थिकनेस होना चाहिए, आपका बैटरी बैंक में कितना बैटरी होना चाहिए या फिर कितना बैंक आपको टोटल यूज़ करना चाहिए आपके स्टोरेज के लिए, वो सब कुछ मैं आज दिखाने वाला हूँ इस वीडियो में। So guys, please stay tuned and continue with the video. So guys, if anyone wants to install their own off-grid solar system for residential uses, then this video is for you guys. So guys, this is the basic schematic diagram of an off-grid solar power system. As you can see, the components are here as solar panels, charge controller, battery bank and inverter. So what used to happen is, first the sunlight falls onto the solar panel, resulting at DC current. Then this DC energy has been transferred to the charge controller to remove the harmonics from that DC waveform and to modulate the DC voltage. Then from charge controller, that DC current has been transferred to the battery bank for the storage, and from battery bank the supply is given to inverter. Now here a both way transfer used to occur, because that battery bank transfer the DC current to the inverter, and after converting that DC into AC, inverter used to send that AC current to the battery bank to make it charged again, and also this inverter send the AC current to the home.
अरे रुको जरा, जाके सब्सक्राइब करो।
I am going to show you guys how you can calculate a complete off-grid solar power system, or you can design a complete off-grid solar power system for your residential use by using a simple Excel sheet. So here you can see I have an Excel sheet. I have downloaded it from internet. This is not my sheet. This has been created by Anthony Cartwright. Now here you can see, for a complete residential area or for a complete house, the loads are given in name of equipments, their wattage are given as per the standard, the daily usage of each equipment is given in hours, and here we have one hours to minute calculator. As you can see here, if you put it 30 minutes, this hour will become 150. So by using this calculator, we have used the hour here, and we have ampere rating for each equipment. Now how we get this ampere rating? So as you can see here, the domestic voltage for Indian standard, Indian electricity supply standard is 230. So and wattage of each equipment is given, and as per our knowledge, P is equal to VI. So let's open the calculator and check how we got the amperage. So let's take it for the AC. So for the AC, the wattage is 1500 watt. So if we divide it by 230 volt, we will get the current rating for that AC, that is 6.5. Same as for microwave, same as for washing machine, PC, TV, laptop, and go on. Now here you can see the daily usage of each equipment has been given in hours. So the daily energy consumption of each equipment or each load will be in watt hour. So the watt hour is nothing but the multiplication of the watt rating of each equipment with the runtime. So suppose the AC is of 1500 watt and it's running for 5 hours in a day. So our daily consumption, 24 hours consumption will be 7500 watt hour. Same for the microwave, as it's 1250 wattage of rating for microwave, and it's running for half an hour. So the daily energy consumption for the microwave will be 625 watt hour. Now here as you can see, our total daily consumption in watt hour for this particular house, which we have considered here, depending on the load, will be the summation of the daily consumption of each equipment. the daily energy consumption of each equipment. So what will be your daily energy consumption? That will be this AC energy consumption plus microwave energy consumption. So it's nothing but the summation of this complete table of load, that is in watt hour. So this is our total daily consumption. We are getting it in watt hour, that is 10,130. And after our charge controller loss, it will become 11,256. After our battery losses, it will become 12,506, and after considering the inverter losses, this is 13,896. So this 13,896 watt hour is the required energy for this particular house that has been considered in this Excel sheet to fulfill its consumption. This is the watt hour rating or the energy required to fulfill this particular load's consumption requirement. So you can understand, like, if we are going to run this complete load with a solar system, then this particular watt hour should be the output of that particular solar system, and this is the input for the inverter that we are going to use. Now how you are going to select the inverter rating? So for inverter rating wattage or inverter wattage rating, how we can consider it? We have to just add this complete wattage of the load. That is how many wattage of load or how much wattage of load we are using. The summation of that will be the inverter rating. As you can see here, we have added all this value and we got the inverter rating over here in this block. So you can check it. Suppose I am changing this phone power to 10. Sorry, it's 102. It has become, it's in 10. So you can see this will become 3630. This inverter rating. Again, if we are making it 5, it will become 3625. So that's how we used to get our inverter rating. Now we have inverter draw amperage and our bank draw amperage. That is the our solar banks are there, which is a string. You can say it a bank or you can say it a string. So like the complete solar bank amperage rating should be 15.1 as per our voltage and this wattage rating to give feed our inverter. Now our inverter efficiency we have considered here as 90%. So what if we use a less efficient inverter? Let's suppose we are using an 80% efficient inverter. So what has happened? You can see here the energy required after inverter loss will become higher because our inverter here is now less efficient. So our inverter losses will be higher. So once the inverter loss is higher, we need higher output from our solar power plant to support or to satisfy this particular daily consumption, or you can say this total consumption of this particular house. Now again, if we are taking it as 90% efficient inverter, then you can see the total watt hour requirement or the total watt hour output required from our solar panel will become less because the inverter losses will be less at that place. So now going to the panel blanks. So how we are how we are designing our solar panels, or how you can select a bank. Here you can see bank is stated as is a collection of one or more panels wired in series. Banks are wired together in parallel. So you can see a single bank is a connection of one or multiple modules or solar panels in series. So you can call it as a string. A bank is nothing but a string here. So here we are considering two bank or two strings, and we are connecting two strings in parallel. Before that, what we are doing, we are connecting each module in series to make one string, and then we are connecting two strings in parallel. Now here you can see we have, in that Excel which I have downloaded, here the loads were previously lower. So as it was lower, so they have taken 120 volt maximum voltage output for one string. But this voltage output is not satisfying our watt hour required, which load we have calculated here. Because our total power here, the total power we are generating by using this string or this 120 volt output of string is 1783. But our daily energy produced here is in watt hour is 3566. How we are getting this watt hour? we are using here daily sunlight for 2 hours. Let's suppose we are taking its an average sunlight time for 2 hours. It varies on summer time, on monsoon time, and on winter time. So we have just taken, or we have just assumed a minimum sunlight time as 2 hours. So after considering the values which has been given in this table, our total power that we are generating for our solar system is 1783 watt, and multiplying it with 2 hours, because only 2 hours our solar panels are generating as we have considered here. So we are getting 3566 watt hour. But what is our required watt hour here? That is 13,896. This is our required watt hour. But how much watt hour we are generating here? We are generating here 3566. So this particular design is not satisfying our requirement. Now how you can change it? So here you can assume, like, if we have 40 volts of maximum output for a single module, so you can say like 3 modules you have connected here in series. So we are getting 120 volt. Now what if we increase the number of modules, because we need a 13,896 kilowatt of watt of output, which means near about 14 kilowatt output is required to satisfy our load. So let's suppose we are changing a single string voltage into 450. Okay. Now you can see the total power consumption is changing, and the total produced watt hour is also changing. But then also it's not satisfying our requirement. Now for the second bank also, the second string also, I am changing the voltage in 450. Now what will happen? Then also it's becoming 13.3 kilowatt, but it's not becoming our requirement. What is our requirement? Our requirement is 13,896 watt, that is nearby 14 kilowatt. So to play a safe game, we must make this thing 14 kilowatt or 14,000 watt hour. So suppose just take it as 500 of our maximum voltage, or if you are using 40 volt maximum output voltage for each module, then we can say like you can connect 12 into 4, 480. So we can say we are taking 480 for single string output. Now you can see this thing, when you are taking like 12 modules of 40 volt output in a single string in series, and for another string again 12 modules of 40 volt output in series, this is satisfying our requirement. It is becoming 14,266 watt hour, and our total power that we are generating, that is 7,133 from this particular solar system that we have just now designed here. Now here you can see the average voltage you are taking as 480, because we are using here 12 modules in series. Each module is having 40 volts of maximum output voltage with an current amperage of 7.43. So we are getting the maximum power here for each string is 3566 watt. And when you are adding this 2 wattage, we are getting the total power as 7133 watt. And as we have calculated here, our average sunlight or daily average sunlight time is 2 hours. So multiplying this watt with this 2 hour, we are getting 14,266 watt hour, which is satisfying our requirement, which was 13,896 watt hour. So for this load, or to satisfy this particular load which has been showed here, we need a system of 480 voltage in each string, and such 2 string you can use, and you can parallelly connect those two strings to satisfy our requirement. Now here you can see one thing, we are using a charge controller efficiency which is 90%. The charge controller which we are using here having 90% efficiency. What if we didn't have a 90% efficient charge controller? From market maybe we got a 80% efficient charge controller. Now what will happen? Now what will happen is, here you will see, when we are using a 80% efficient charge controller, you can see the losses for charge controller is increasing. Hence the total watt hour requirement, the watt hour output we need from the solar panel or the inverter input is getting higher. So again, then this thing is not satisfying our requirement, because previously what was our requirement? It was 13,896 15,896 watt hour. Okay. Now what it has become 15,633 as we are using a less efficient charge controller. Now we have to change this particular charge controller efficiency. If we are making it again 90%, as you can see, it's satisfying, and the requirement is becoming again 13,896. So guys, we have calculated here like our required energy output from the solar module, which is satisfying this particular load, our house load, that we have calculated here. And we have also calculated the panel blanks, how many panels is required for one bank and how we can install those panels. Now there is another thing, that is charge controller amperage. So this charge controller amperage, that completely depends on the battery bank, because from solar plant or the solar module, the supply will go to charge controller, from there it will go to the battery bank. So how it is depend on the battery bank? Just let a look in battery bank calculation. So there are like 7 banks we are using, each banks of 240 ampere hour. So one single bank is one or more batteries connected in series, and all the banks are connected in parallel. So depending on our loads, our total capacity of ampere hour that we are generating here is 1680, and our capacity needed in ampere hour is 724. So this is much higher than this. So why, from where we are getting this 724 and what is maximum discharge rate, I will be telling you. So stay tuned with this video. So maximum discharge rate is like 20%, as it's been said here. So 20% discharge rate in the sense like we are able to use 20% of the complete battery capacity. Why we are using only 20% of the battery capacity? Just to make sure the battery's lifetime remain much longer. So you can vary this discharge rate from 10 to 50%, but making it higher will lower the battery lifetime. So 20% is the most efficient discharge rate to keep in. Now you can make it 10%. So if you are using 10%, this capacity ampere hour need will be higher, because we are using even lesser percentage of the battery. Now if you are making it 30%, it will become lower. Okay, so let it be 20%, and this is the most efficient thing. Now just remove one battery and see what happened. So if you remove one battery, then also it is satisfying the supply, because our single bank voltage is 96. Now let's remove another battery bank, then also nothing is happening, because again our single battery bank voltage is 96. So it is again satisfying this, because our total capacity that we are getting is 1200, whereas our capacity needed in ampere hour is 724. And here you can see the charge controller amperage is 74.3. So we can remove another battery bank, then also it is satisfying this particular thing. Now what if we make our battery bank of 120 Ah? Let's make all the battery bank. Now let's see, when we are becoming 2 battery bank of 120 Ah, this total capacity that we are making over here in ampere hour is 720, it's becoming, but our capacity needed it's 724, because our energy required in ampere hour is 145. How we are getting this 145? We are getting this 145 because we are using 0.2%, 20%, which is multiplied by 0.2 of our capacity required. So our capacity required is 724 multiplied by 0.2. See, it's 144.8. So it's almost equivalent to 145. So it is, this is how we are getting this energy required in ampere hour. Now make this one 240 again it is satisfying the condition. So let's see if we remove one more. So if we are removing one also, it's becoming, our total capacity is becoming 600. So it's not going to work out. So keep it 240. So we can use one bank of 120 and 3 bank of 240, but since we are going to connect all the bank in parallel, so we can't use this dissimilar voltage. We have to make this one 240 as well. So our voltage will be satisfactory. Now we have calculated here a single day of storage, because we want our battery to perform just for one day when there is no sunlight or our module is out of operation. So that depending on this one day we are calculating over here, we can make this day, I mean if you want to make the storage for 2 days, you can make that as well. For 3 days you can make that as well. So this program or this particular Excel sheet will calculate it automatically. Now because formulas are given here already, now this bank voltage, let's change the bank voltage and see what will happen. So here the bank voltage is 96. What if we make it 24? So when we are making it 24, you can see the capacity needed in ampere hour is becoming higher. Why? Because we are decreasing the voltage. So to get the same power output or to get the same energy, we need higher current because we are decreasing the voltage over here. So this is again the basic formula we are using, that is P is equal to VI. So here our energy required, that is P, that is, as you can see here, that is this one, 13,896, that is our energy required in watt hour. So to keep that P constant, I mean keeping that P constant, if you are decreasing the voltage from 96 to 24, so we have to increase the required current, that is AH value. So if you are using 24 volts of battery bank, so we have to increase the current value. So how we can increase the current value? I mean ampere hour value, we can add few more battery banks over here. So after adding this many numbers of battery bank also, after adding 12 battery bank also, it is not satisfying. The total capacity we are getting is 2880 and our needed ampere hour capacity is 2895. Okay, so what we will do, we will just make this voltage 48 volt. Okay, so now our capacity needed is 1447 ampere hour. We have 2880 ampere hour, so we can remove few of the battery banks from here and make it a small and simplified storage for us. So now if we remove another, again it's getting dissatisfied. So just let it be like this and make this battery efficiency 95%. Let's see what happens. Now see, when the battery efficiency is 95%, this capacity again got decreased because previously we were using 90% efficient battery. Now when the battery efficient is 95%, so our ampere hour requirement has got decreased over here. So if we are using a 95% efficient battery, total 6 number of banks and each bank contains an ampere hour of 240, then with this 48 volt bank voltage, then we can satisfy all load over here. Now one thing here to look at, you can see the charge control amperage, previously it was 74 point something. Now it has become 148.6, which is very high, very high ampere. Now what if I change this voltage again to 96? So again if I am changing this into 96, so now I need and 686 ampere hourage, and the charge controller current amperage, charge controller amperage also got lesser, it's 74.3 now, because like your when your voltage will get increased, the current value will decrease because we have to keep the P constant. So once you are increasing the voltage, I have to keep that same P value, I can decrease the current. So when you are increasing the current, to keep that same P value, I have to decrease the voltage. This is the simple theory. P is equal to VI, that's a basic formula that we are using here. So if you are using 96 volt of each bank, then we can remove few more banks from here. As you can see here, now again it's getting dissatisfied, so we can add another 120. Let's see if it's satisfying. No, not at all. So we can add here another 240. So we can use only 3 banks of 240 AH and we can satisfy our condition. Satisfy our condition if we are using a bank voltage of 96 volt. So this is the basic calculations for your battery banks, depending on your panel outputs and depending on your load and depending on your charge controller efficiency. and amperage. So let's just decrease the charge controller efficiency. Let's see what we have. If we decrease the charge controller efficiency to 80%, now you can see the capacity needed got increased, because since the charge controller is not efficient, this capacity also got increased, and here also you will see this capacity will also get increased. Okay, and here also you can see our panels are not satisfying this watt hour production or our daily energy required, that is not satisfying with our panels calculation that we have done previously. So we need a 90% efficient charge controller to satisfy all these requirements. So guys, now we have all the amperage rating for battery banks, panels and everything, and also for the loads for the inverter. So here the program or the Excel sheet has already taken the values inside it, but and the coil thickness is given as per the ampere rating. But you have to keep one thing in mind, this is for only 2 meter of cable length. So once the length is getting increased, this thickness will also get increased. Why? Because just to omit the voltage drop or to take account the voltage drop, once the length of this wire is getting increased, the thickness of the wire will also get increased. So I will be uploading a detailed calculation video for AC cable sizing and DC cable sizing later onwards. So please subscribe this channel so that you can get that videos as a notifications. So here right now what has happened, you can see the solar cable amperage rating, it is showing 14.9. So what is this solar cable? That is the cable which is coming from the module to the charge controller. You can see here the total amperage is 14.9. This is each bank contains 7.43 ampere, and adding these two we are getting total amperage of 14.9. So this cable is going from these solar panels to charge controller. Now from charge controller to battery bank, the cable which is going is having 74.3 amperage as we have calculated before. Now what is this bank amperage? As you can see, we have used here 3 battery banks. So for each bank the amperage rating will be this 24.8. I will show you once. 74.3 for the complete battery box. 74.3 divided by 3, because we are using 3 separate battery bank. So you can see this becoming 24.76, which is almost 24.8. So we have got this cable sizing as well depending on this ampere rating. And now this is from the inverter, from the battery bank to inverter. The wire which is going from the battery bank to inverter, that is 37.5. From where we are getting it? We are getting it from here. This is the actual inverter to draw amperage. Now how we get this 37.5 ampere? So as you can see here, our single inverter rating is 3600 watt. 3600 watt. Okay. So 3600 divided by how many volts of battery we are using? Our bank voltage is 96 volt we are using. So this is divided by 96. So let's say it's 37.5. So the wire which is going from inverter to battery, that should be that should be absorbing 37.5 ampere. So depending on this current value, we have to take this thickness of the cable. And again I am saying it is for 2 meter length only. So I will be explaining the detailed cable sizing in my next video. So please guys subscribe this channel so you will be getting those videos as your notification. So this is the amperage rating for the cable of which is going from inverter to the battery bank, the battery box. Now we are using 3 parallel battery bank. So the amperage rating for each battery bank will be 37.5 divided by 3, which is 12.5. As you can see, the actual bank amperage is 12.5. So that is how we calculate the amperage rating for each cable. Depending on the amperage rating, we used to give the size of the cable, also depending on the length. So guys, I will be uploading a detailed cable sizing video in my next on maybe some few next vlogs. So guys, please do get those videos as a notification, and to get more videos regarding solar power. Please subscribe this channel.